this individual, they have posted blogs on social media, but they're wondering about what are your thoughts on putting an ad in the paper or doing advertisement on the radio. They are trying not to spend too much money though, as business has dropped off.
Yeah, it's a really good question. We're doing PSAs on the radio with in conjunction with our traditional media, which would be a radio campaign. January through March is the shoulder season anyway in Arizona, so we were already prepared with the idea that we had a promotion. But we went to the radio station and said, hey, you guys aren't going to have all of your advertising time filled up. If anybody cancels on you, can we have some PSA spots similar to what Wally's doing? We're basically saying, hey, we're here to serve the community. This is a bad time for all of us, and we're happy to help out anybody that needs medication or groceries or whatever. So I would recommend that you talk to the radio station and see if they've got some gaps. They have so much inventory to sell, and if they're getting cancellations, they probably want to fill that time anyway. They also have a requirement as part of their licensing through the Federal Trade Commission. They have to do certain public service announcements. They tend to do them in off periods, to check a box. But right now, it even helps the radio station. So we've had some personalities that we do work with, and they've sat in on those types of PSAs as well. Then I think your social media content, it depends on what you're writing, and it depends on what's going on. It's going to reach a certain audience. It's not going to reach everybody. Whether you want to do a newspaper ad or whether you want to do something else, I think that's very dependent upon your local marketplace. I would recommend that you maybe send us a question and say, which specific market are you in? So we can look a lot closer at the hard demographics and the psychographics of that community. If you're in Los Angeles, you're probably not going to afford to be able to go on TV or any of the major broadcast radio stations unless you're a really scaled business. But if you're in a smaller market, a more rural type community, the costs are going to be a lot less, even the newspaper and so forth. So I like where your mind's at there. I like how you're thinking. I do believe that you need to try other medias to reach, but your customer base through an email campaign would probably be the very first place I would look. What am I doing internally with my existing customers? And to Wally's point, go in and farm the existing opportunities. So there's lots of business to be had. The last comment I'll make is we're going to end up with a version of 2008, which turned into 2009 and 2010. When people delay these types of processes of purchasing and they end up repairing versus replacing, or they just delay the entire process, there's a pent-up supply of consumption that occurs behind this. 2009 and 2010 were the best years I ever had in my businesses ever. And it was, by design from the economy, basically, choking itself in 2008. Eventually, people needed to come out of that and the spending increased. So keep that in mind, that what you're doing with your brand strategy will benefit you probably, in the next year or two as we come out of this.